But yeah, NBA. I want to get to one last thing regarding the NBA, and then we'll go to the WrestleMania real quick. The NBA. I want to ask you this because something else came across. What is the best NBA? What would be the best NBA Finals matchup for the future of the league?
At this point, I don't even know, man.
I'll tell you one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell you one. I think the this year's NBA Finals, what the league should want is Timberwolves versus Celtics. You know why?
Why?
Because you need players. You need players to take the torch from the old guys.
I agree.
And in order to do that, you need young guys to make the finals. You need young guys to show themselves in the biggest of moments. You need to promote those players in the biggest of moments. I look at Anthony Edwards. I look at Jason Tatum. And those are two dudes that should be taking the torch from LeBrons, from the Stephs, from the KDs, etc. Because they're in their 20s, they're young, and they're going to represent the league years from now. They have a certain personality. They have the image that you look to and say, okay, they have the game. Also, when I look at the years prior, what position do normally you look to and say, oh, that's the face of the league? Wings, because normally they're athletic, their game is fundamentally sound. The Jordans, the Kobes, the KDs, the LeBrons, the Larry Birds, and Jason Tatum, they're wings. One is a guard. I think it's very imperative for the Timberwolves and the Celtics to make the finals because that can really help the game going forward if we have those two teams. Because number one, Minnesota is not, it's not a popular, it's not one of the big,
it's not a big
markets, but they have a guy who has that personality, that has that charisma, that has that game, that is very similar to a Kobe, to a Michael Jordan. He has the athleticism, the fundamentals. He has the personality. Jason Tatum, he has that sort of blue collar, that sort of, perfect sort of image. Like he can't do nothing wrong. He has that.
With the Duke.
The kid. The kid. And he has the. He plays a position that's very popular, that sort of resembles the T-Max, the Kobe's, the Kevin Durant's, and etc. that people like. So I look at those two teams. If we're talking about the future of the league and trying to advance the future of the league and looking for faces, you have to have those two teams. If you don't, then I think it will be just bad for the league. Like, I like the Nuggets, but I believe the league will be better if the Timberwolves make the finals rather than the Nuggets. I'm sorry. Because also, I believe those two teams are evenly matched. They both have a lot of talent. They both have questionable IQs at times. So
especially when the game late down the stretch
so like you could say, okay, I mean, they both can have questionable decision making. I don't look at both of these teams and I say to myself, oh man, one team is just so much better when it comes to late game situations. While if the Nuggets are playing, it's like, oh well, the Nuggets, their IQ is so much far superior than any other team in the league. I look at these two teams and I say to myself, if they both make the finals, I believe the series will go 7 games. I believe both teams are they have like certain deficiencies that will require each team to have to really be on their P's and Q's. Like I just think that matchup is perfect for the NBA Finals.
Yes, I would agree with that. But let me pitch something to you right quick.
Okay.
I just recently watched. I saw the newest Godzilla movie last week.
Here we go.
And we all know what Kaiju Titans.
Yeah.
Titans. And the two Titans I can think of right now that the league has been dying to see. We just haven't seen it. It's Jokic
Versus Embiid.
and Embiid.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would be a great story if Embiid comes back on the verge of collapse for the 76ers to go to the finals and go against Jokic. We haven't seen that matchup in how many years?
Since the 90s. In terms of two dominant centers.
I'm just talking about, that too, and Jokic versus Embiid in general, 4 years?
Okay.
3, 4?
Yeah.
That would be a fantastic matchup.
Okay, I agree with you on that one.
And I think this type of battle could honestly, it would do way better than the freaking last year's finals. I tell you that much.
Yes, it would definitely do a lot better.
Titan on Titan, we need it. But other than that, I would agree with the Timberwolves and Celtics. Honestly, I'll tell you the teams I don't want to see come out the East. I love the Bucks, but I can't trust Doc Rivers. I don't even think he's going to even get anywhere close to that. Cavaliers.
Hell no.
No, Donovan Mitchell, he's all right, but he's not really like a dude in this league.
Nah.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's supposed to be.
But he's just not. Evan Mobley, he
still hasn't come to his own.
Yeah,
He's still only
Darius Garland still figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
It's not really, Magic. I mean, they're young. Paolo's cool and all, but the Knicks, I would love to see the Knicks in the finals, honestly, but Julius Randle out for the year. Who knows how far
Robinson hurt always, and
Pacers,
OG Anunoby as well.
They got some help towards the deadline, but
it's still
Halliburton is hurt, and he's playing. You can tell he's hurt because he's playing like it.
Yeah.
The Heat, please no.
Oh man,
I don't want to do this.
Play is boring.
I don't want to do this again.
They're
please.
boring, very boring.
Save us the script. And I'm not even gonna mention the rest of the conference. So it's really just the Celtics, Timberwolves. I really like the Timberwolves, but man, like you said, they down the stretch. It's just, and then offense just gets so bad at times.
Yeah.
And I had questions about the offense even when they had Cat on the floor. So and now that he's been hurt and he's probably done for the year.
He'll come back first round.
Oh, he's coming back?
He's coming back in the first round.
Okay. But yeah, it's still like the offense is like, bruh, something's got to shake. And sometimes he be putting up tour dates, but he gets away with it because he has aura or whatever the NBA Twitter people be saying, and people like him. But you gotta look, man. Like, and then the Thunder. I like the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's a bucket, but like they're young.
Yeah, they're young.
They're still prone to do young team stuff.
Yeah.
As far as the coaching goes, we're not too sure about that. And as the Clippers, come on now, James Harden will never sniff a finals. The Mavs would be a good. I would like to see the Mavs. I would like to see the Mavs.
Yeah, Luka. Honestly, that's not
Kyrie,
too bad one.
I would like to see that.
Mavericks versus Celtics.
Nah, Mavs and Celtics would be nice. I would like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that as well.
Kyrie coming back to Boston again.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be too bad at all. What else? I mean, Kings. I'm not really sold on.
Anything below the Mavericks, I'm out. Honestly.
Suns, nah. I'm just looking at I mean, you make a good point. I do think Jokic versus Embiid, you can definitely promote that. I just think with the Nuggets, they're just far superior than everybody else when it comes to basketball IQ, when it comes to late
Nick
game
Nurse ain't no slouch.
He is no slouch, but you have to remember Embiid in late game situation. He hasn't come up that big in late game situations. And I do like Nick Nurse. He is a smart head coach. He is a significant upgrade to Doc Rivers. But at the end of the day, I think the talent compared to the Nuggets, I think the Nuggets are more talented. I don't trust Tobias Harris at all. I like Tyrese Maxey. I think he comes big. He comes up big in big moments. But Embiid, I'm still not particularly sold in him in the playoffs because he hasn't really been that great in the playoffs. And his health, how healthy is he going to be in the playoffs? I mean, we know he's coming back, but is he going to be that same dominant presence in the postseason compared to before he got hurt with his knee? So those are my questions with the 76ers. It would be a cool storyline, but at the end of the day, I still think the Nuggets come away victorious, probably in like 5 or 6 games. While with the Timberwolves versus the Celtics, I'm looking at it and I'm saying both of these teams are prone to make some bad mistakes. Both of these teams are still not perfect.
That's a shame, though. Like the reason the game will be close is because not because of is because they both prone to do stupid stuff. Like that's what does that say about the state of the league at this point?
It says that a lot of these players are not high IQ players. They are prone to making key mistakes. There's not a lot of LeBrons. There's not a lot of Stephs. There's not a lot of. I'm not even gonna say KD because he be making some dumb mistakes. But it's just not a lot of guys that you can look to and say, oh yeah, they're closers. They're guys that you can trust when the game matters most. They've been there before. They understand how to close out games, and it's weird because Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they've been in those moments so many times, but it just seems like it's not consistent enough. Like you expect them at this time to finally figure it out, but their play style, the way that they run stuff, a lot of one-on-one ball isolation, it just seems like you put a lot of stuff on their shoulders, and they just can't get the job done. And I mean, Joe Mazzulla has done a lot better, but there's still things that he needs to work on. By the way, people that think that if Ime Udoka was still the head coach, that they would win a championship, I disagree because they still have that same problem.
Yeah,
they still had that same problem with Ime Udoka when it comes to isolation ball. The Warriors were able to exploit it. I think I don't know if it was Steph or whoever on the Golden State Warriors. It may have been Draymond. Who knows? But they talked about how they had more talent, but we were just the smarter basketball team. And I think they would have still exploited the Celtics at the end of the day. I mean, Miami, they almost beat Boston, even with Ime.
Yeah.
Remember Game 7? If Jimmy Butler didn't decide, I'm gonna just win the game off a 3-point shot.
He did do that.
So,
and the Bucks took him to 7 the previous series too.
Exactly, with no Middleton.
Yeah.
So I mean, even with Ime, they weren't perfect.